The man had been swimming in the sea for 2 days, and when he thought he was going to drown, he finally reached a beach. After resting, he was going to look for food, but as soon as he stepped into the jungle, he saw a terrifying gorilla. The sight almost scared him half to death. He panicked and ran away, but fell into the water, and the noise he made alerted the crocodile in the water. Paul saw the crocodile swimming towards him and immediately swam as hard as he could towards the shore. After escaping, he began to look for a way out, but when he circled around, he found himself back at the same place. Then he realized that he was trapped on a deserted island. After all this time, Paul was already thirsty. Luckily, there are more coconuts on the deserted island, but the coconuts on this island are harder than the ones he usually eats, so he couldn't open them. Eventually, Paul managed to find food to satisfy his hunger. Then he was lucky enough to find a shelter, which was obviously uninhabited for a long time, as it was covered with cobwebs. But there were a lot of tools that could be used here. Through the writing on the wall, he realized that this was the place where Robinson had lived, which gave him hope to live. After a few days of hard work, Paul finally repaired the shelter. He also began to desert island survival. In order not to be eaten by the wild animals on the desert island, he made a lot of traps and mechanisms. Every day he would come to the beach to watch for passing ships, but every time he was disappointed with the results. Fortunately, Robinson had left a lot of things before he used the knowledge of these books to build a boat, but as soon as he launched the boat, it was torn apart. That day, when he was looking for a ship at sea, he accidentally found a box on the surface of the sea. He rushed to the beach and looked at the chest in front of him, thinking that there must be something useful inside, but when he got home, he saw that it was full of women's clothes. After rummaging through the suit that appeared in the suitcase, he knew that he shouldn't continue in this state of disarray. Paul cleaned himself up and walked along the beach, expecting to see a passing boat, but he didn't realize that someone behind him was already watching him. That day he woke up to find a strange man in his house, a sight that scared him so much that he broke out of the window. But when he saw that the other seemed to be afraid of him, he immediately chased after him. He followed the masked man all the way to the beach, and after a struggle he saw that the other person was a woman. This makes him trapped on a deserted island for 2.5 years. He immediately glittered towards the woman and chased after her.